guys, Lacey here. I am coming to you from my home, and we're all quarantined during this pandemic and all having to learn how to live in uncertain times and teach in uncertain times. And so many parents are at home having to work, having to homeschool. Teachers are at home having to do online school, having to teach their own kids. Leaders are having to find creative ways to deal with the situation that we find ourselves in right now that we've never been in before. And I know for me, I keep coming back to my own practice and also thinking about ways that we can live unscripted. And we're having to live unscripted right now. We're having to be creative, and we're having to come from a sense of heartfulness and openness to doing things a little bit differently than we've ever done before. And so mindfulness is such a powerful and transformative tool that can help us to do that. And mindfulness simply means that we're paying attention to the present moment on purpose without judging it. So we're able to have this openness, this spaciousness, this friendliness with the present moment. And in doing that, it helps to bring about a clarity and a resilience and a mental strength. Because what we're really doing from a scientific standpoint is that we're rewiring our brain for more focus, more concentration. And it's like mindfulness is the practice that really strengthens our mind, kind of like exercise is the practice that strengthens our body. And so I feel like it's incredibly important, especially during the time that we're living in right now, to share what I have learned over the past 4 years and some of the work that I've been doing in the school system in Leander. So basically, I'm a mindfulness educator. I teach mindfulness in elementary schools, and I came up with some practices and some ways in which we can do this in a fun way that empowers teachers and students to learn about their brains. And so we know that our brain is the boss of our body, but we're the boss of our brain. And so through this practice of mindfulness, we're able to have more awareness of the different emotions that arise. And emotion drives learning. And we also know that if there's a lot of stress, fear, or uncomfortable emotions that are arising, the part of our brain in the limbic system, which is our emotional brain, called the amygdala, it starts to react. And so what it does is it cuts off the gateway into higher learning. And so learning can't happen. And in a time when the whole world is in a pandemic and there's massive amounts of fear and there's massive amounts of stress and there's massive amounts of uncertainty, we really need to sink into this moment and practice this mental resiliency of being here now. And what this does is it helps us to have a higher level of well-being. Research has shown that a distracted mind is an unhappy mind. And to have a human mind means that our mind wanders. So often I hear people say, I'm not good at meditation, I'm not good at mindfulness because I can't clear my mind. But what I'm here to tell you is that it's not about clearing your mind. It's not about thinking about nothing. Our mind was designed to think. What we're doing in these practices is learning to train our mind so that we can make better decisions that come from a place of deeper levels of kindness, compassion, and love. And so these practices that are rooted in science, they really truly help to enhance our well-being. And I think that during this time more than any, it's important to learn skills and have practices that do support our well-being. So with that being said, I want to share with you the brain train practice. And it's simply a set of a few things that we're focusing our attention on. So the first step is to put our mindful body on. And the way that we put our mindful body on is that we sit crisscross applesauce. And we zip up our spine. You can take your hand, place it on your low belly, your other one on your back, take a deep breath, zip up your spine. Maybe you want to move your shoulders a little bit, find some spaciousness, find a place that feels comfortable to you. And if you're practicing this with kids, You can have them take their mindful body off, so you just kind of come down, and then you breathe in, and slowly put your mindful body on. And so that's just a way to bring attention into our body. We know that a straight spine equals a calmer mind. So we place our mindful body on. Now, a mindful body doesn't just mean that our spine is straight, it means that we're still and that we can find quietness. So we zip it, lock it, put it in our pocket, open up our ears so that we can listen. And when our mindful bodies are on, then we begin to breathe. So we're going to take 3 breaths. We're going to inhale through our nose, hold it, and then exhale out of our nose. This is a Hoberman sphere. You can use this. You can find them on Amazon. If you don't have one of these, it's totally fine. You can use your hands, and I'll show you how to do that after we get finished practicing. So let's breathe together. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold. And exhale out. Breathe in. And exhale out. And one more time. And out. You want to invite kids to put their eyes on the sphere as it's opening and closing. And another thing that you can do is once they've found stillness in their body, they can be the ones to open and close the ball. You can play around with it. This is not something that needs to be perfect. It's really just a practice in which we're kind of meeting ourselves where we are with kindness and curiosity and learning to still our bodies, learning to breathe mindfully. And then the third step, is that we listen mindfully. And so I use a Zenergy chime. You can also get those on Amazon, but you don't have to have a chime. You can simply listen to the sounds that are around you. So anytime that we pay attention to the present moment on purpose, we're practicing mindfulness, and that strengthens those neural highways that helps us to have greater executive functioning, higher levels of understanding, and a deeper level of emotional intelligence. So I'm going to ring the bell, and when you can no longer hear it anymore, you want to raise your hand. And that's that. That's the brain train practice. If you don't have a sphere, you can use your hands, and especially for kids who are really kinesthetic and it's hard for them to sit still, they can use their hands as they breathe. So we're going to make a fist, 2 fists together like so. We're going to take a deep breath in, expand our hands out as if it was the ball, hold, and then slowly exhale. So that's another option that you can do. So thank you for practicing with me. I hope that this brain train practice will be of benefit to you. We teach it 3 times a day in the schools. So if you're finding yourself at home, this could be the way that you start your day. And then maybe around lunchtime, middle of the day, you could do it again. And then possibly you could do it even right before bedtime. And it helps to calm the autonomic nervous system, and it's giving us this repeated times that we're practicing mindfulness. And over the course of time, you start to see this mental resilience strengthen. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing right now. Thank you for showing up in new ways, and I hope that you will be kind and compassionate to yourself right now, and really dig deep into this connection to this present moment that we all find ourselves in. uncertainty isn't easy for anyone, especially not humans. Humans don't do real well with uncertainty, but in uncertain times we can remember to come back to our breath, come back to our body, and come back to this present moment. And I hope that that will allow you to feel more joy and gratitude in this moment. So thank you.